Well, Halloween 2018 is behind us. The hype, the craziness, all that's gone. Now it's time to get quiet, right? And just calm down. Nope, because we now have a writer for the sequel to Halloween 2018. Let's do this. What's up, guys? I can't believe it's this quick, but we're already back with a Halloween update. I actually have that masterful soundtrack by John freaking Carpenter on vinyl playing right over there right now. I listen to that thing every time I get ready to record any review. But we'll talk a little bit about this in this video. But first off, quick shout out to Joey F. Misfit on Twitter. He's the one that clued me in on this news first. Had quite a few other people send me a message, and yeah, I'm excited. We have the first big step, first official step, and officially the writer. That's really the big news here, is we have a writer. Now, if you remember, I did an update on this back in October. I believe it was like right before the movie came out. And there was this writer that was rumored to have penned a script, according to BloodyDisgusting.com. That writer is in fact Scott Teems. I did a little research on Scott Teems. He has a history in television. He's done some writing, he's done some producing, he's done some directing. So he's got a lot of work behind his belt, but it must be something interesting, because this is an idea that this guy came forward to Blumhouse with back, in October. Now, some other things. The involvement of David Gordon Green and Danny McBride right now is unknown. My guess would be that one or both of them would get a producing or an executive producing credit. That's usually what happens in these things, unless they don't want to have anything to do with it, which I'd be surprised if they didn't, based on the critical response of the first movie. I know a lot of people have their problems with this movie. The dust has settled. I have some issues with Halloween 2018, but having said that, it's still high up in the rung amongst my ranking for the Halloween franchise. I still love the movie immensely. The things it gets right, it really gets right in my book. And also, one more bit of news, Andy Matichik, Judy Greer, and Jamie Lee Curtis are rumored to return. Rumored could mean anything. So, now if I could dabble a little bit, and I'll give you my, I guess, wish list for this next movie. First off, this right here. I want John Carpenter to come back and do the score if possible. Or, if it can't be Carpenter, Cody Carpenter, his son, and Daniel Davies. Have them come back and take the reins. I would be happy with that, because they played a major part in this epic soundtrack. And I'll even say, I think this is the best score of the year. I really mean that. It is such a phenomenal score. I expected just a run-of-the-mill, nothing too fancy Halloween score like we've gotten in so many of the movies in the past. Why mess up a good thing? But they really took some risks, and they gave us some tracks like The Shape Hunts Allison, the prison transfer scene. All those music moments work so well in this movie. Even when The Shape burns at the end of the movie, I love that track. It's kind of a variation of the original theme, but there was just a little bit more finality, a sense of finality to it. So that's my first big wish list. Second off, let's give Jamie Lee Curtis an exit. A respectful exit. I don't care how you do it. I mentioned in the past, maybe have her have a heart attack. Doesn't have to be that way, though. I mean, just something respectful. Or, she doesn't even have to die. Maybe she just is separated from the people that are in trouble with Myers. There's a lot of different ways you could go with this. And you know what? And Jamie Lee Curtis could be for the duration of the movie and then die at the end of this movie. Who knows? On Scream Stream, we were talking, and I'll borrow a phrase from Brian Lomax. He said, doesn't matter what the story is as long as the execution is good. The story could be as simple as possible, but as long as it's well written, well directed, it could still work. So, that's all I'll say. So, post down in the comments your thoughts. What direction would you like them to go for this sequel? Also, James Jude Courtney has to return as Michael Myers. That is the one constant among everybody. I don't think I heard anybody say that James Jude Courtney did a bad job in this movie, because he really knocked it out of the park. Like the score, he took some risks. He kicked it up a notch. And he just had this presence, much like Nick Castle did in the first movie. It's one of those things that you can't really teach. It's just there. James Jude Courtney has it. Also, let's tone down the unnecessary humor. Ray is dead, thankfully. So we won't have to deal with that anymore. I know Judy Greer. I did not mind her as an actress. I think some of the lines she was given was pretty rough. But as far as her as an actress, I honestly didn't have a problem with her. I don't mind her returning at all. Just tighten up that script with her a little bit, Don't give her so many really stupid lines to say. David Gordon Green, I guess, has a certain style of humor he puts in his movies. I noticed a little bit of that Pineapple Express flavor in just one or two of the lines in the movie. Doesn't need to be in a Halloween movie. We learned that lesson from Halloween 2018. Also, from a cinematography standpoint, Halloween 2018 did have some great cinematography here and there. There are some nice moments in there. Daylight scenes, not so much. Cater to those daylight scenes in this sequel. Give it, some atmosphere. I guess like Halloween 4. Halloween 4, I think, had some of the best daylight scenes out of the bunch. And the original Halloween, of course. There was just this uncomfortableness to the daylight scenes, if that makes any sense. Dean Cundey was a major part of that in the original. So that's it, guys. That's pretty much my update for this. Again, Scott Teems has written a treatment. I'm super, super curious as to what that treatment is, and looking forward to seeing which direction they go with this movie. So anyway, guys, post in the comments your thoughts. What do you want out of this sequel? Are you excited for the new movie? I didn't really touch on when this movie would come out. There is no actual date set yet, but I'm hoping for 2020. I don't want them to push something out too quick. Even though this guy does have something written up, they could release it in 2019, and it could be awesome. It's happened in the past, but I would prefer they take their time with this one. Let's get it right, because Halloween 2018 made a freaking buttload of money. So let's don't ruin that, Take your time, make a great sequel to this. And also the name of the movie. Obviously, you don't want to call it Halloween 2 because Halloween 2018 was technically Halloween 2. We know the continuity problems with the Halloween franchise. So I think you have to give it a Halloween : something. As much as I hate to bring up Resurrection, I think that's the direction they might have to go with this. So we'll see. Anyway, guys, be sure to come up to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, we do Free For All Fridays. And we do talk about Halloween a lot in Killer Flicks. People will tell you. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.